the hidden craft behind a sizzling legend. There's something almost mythical about the sound of bacon hitting a hot pan. That sharp sizzle, the mouth-watering aroma curling through the kitchen, the golden edges bubbling and crisping. Few foods have the cultural pull that bacon does. It's practically worshipped. But while most of us are captivated by the end result, very few people know what really goes into making bacon. What looks like a simple slice of meat is actually the result of meticulous decisions, industrial precision, and centuries of culinary tradition. It's a process rooted in preservation, perfected by technology, and elevated by flavor science. Behind every strip of bacon is a journey that starts long before it reaches your plate. From carefully raised pigs and hand-selected pork belly, to scientific curing and slow smoking, the making of bacon is far more complex than you might imagine. There's timing, temperature, technique, and a whole lot of patience. In fact, bacon isn't just food. It's chemistry, it's craftsmanship, and it's one of the most engineered meat products in the world. So what actually happens behind the scenes? How does a fatty piece of pork become one of the most iconic flavors on Earth? Today, join FactoryX as we pull back the curtain on one of the most beloved foods in history. This isn't just a step-by-step. It's a deep dive into the hidden world of bacon production. And what you're about to learn might just change the way you see your breakfast forever. Choosing the perfect cut. Why it all starts with the belly. The first step to making great bacon doesn't happen in a factory. It starts on the farm. And not just any pig will do. Bacon's quality depends heavily on the breed of pig, how it's raised, and especially what it's fed. Pigs bred for bacon are typically chosen for their ability to grow a consistent, meaty belly with the perfect ratio of fat to lean meat. This is crucial. Too much fat and the bacon becomes greasy, too little and it dries out or turns rubbery when cooked. Most bacon comes from the pork belly, a thick, fatty cut from the underside of the pig. Unlike the loin or shoulder, which are used for chops or roasts, the belly has a layered structure. Thin ribbons of pink meat marbled with soft, white fat. It's this structure that gives bacon its unique texture. When cooked, the fat melts and crisps while the lean meat firms up, creating that perfect bite. Once pigs reach market weight, usually between 250 and 300 pounds, they are sent to processing facilities where skilled butchers remove the belly with extreme care. The cut must be even and clean, with skin and excess fat trimmed off. The goal is to create a rectangular slab, uniform in shape, because inconsistencies here will cause problems down the line during curing, smoking, and slicing. In high-end operations, the pork belly is often inspected for color, firmness, and marbling. If it's too pale, it might lack flavor. If it's too soft, it might indicate poor diet or stress. The best bellies are firm to the touch with deep red meat streaks and a creamy white fat layer. At this stage, quality is everything. A poorly cut or low-grade belly can't be fixed later in the process. In bacon making, it's garbage in, garbage out. The curing process, salt, sugar, and scientific precision. Now that we have the pork belly, it's time to turn it into bacon. And that begins with curing, the most important phase in the entire process. Curing isn't just about flavor. It's about preservation, safety, texture, and appearance. Before refrigeration, people learned to use salt to prevent meat from spoiling. Today, we've refined that method into something far more complex. Curing involves introducing a blend of ingredients into the meat. At its core is salt, which draws out moisture and inhibits bacterial growth. But salt alone isn't enough. We also add sugar to balance the saltiness and promote gentle fermentation, enhancing depth of flavor. Most importantly, there's sodium nitrite, also known as pink curing salt, which keeps the meat safe from dangerous pathogens like botulism, and gives bacon its characteristic rosy color. There are two main curing methods used in factories today. The first is dry curing, where the salt-sugar nitrite mixture is rubbed directly onto the pork belly. This method takes longer, often up to 2 weeks, but results in bacon with a richer, denser flavor. The second method is wet curing, also known as brining. Here, the pork belly is submerged in a seasoned liquid cure, or injected with it using dozens of thin needles in a machine called a multi-needle injector. This method is faster and allows large-scale producers to turn out consistent product efficiently. To ensure the cure spreads evenly through the meat, the slabs are often tumbled in vacuum-sealed drums for hours. Tumbling breaks down muscle fibers slightly, helping the meat absorb the cure deeper and more uniformly. It also helps distribute flavoring agents like maple syrup, black pepper, garlic, paprika, or even chili, depending on the bacon's style. Once cured, the pork belly is placed in refrigeration for equalization, a process where the cure stabilizes within the meat and the flavors begin to mellow and marry. This resting stage can last several days and ensures the salt concentration is balanced across the slab. Too much salt on the edges and not enough in the center? That's a failed batch. During this time, color and texture begin to change. The meat firms up, darkens slightly, and develops the early stages of its iconic aroma. It's not bacon yet, but it's getting close. The smoking chamber, flavor in the form of fire. If curing gives bacon its foundation, smoking gives it its soul. This is where pork belly becomes bacon, infused with aroma, enriched with flavor, and transformed in color. Smoking adds complexity that curing alone can't provide, and in many ways, it's the most artistic part of the process. There are two primary types of smoking: cold smoking and hot smoking. Cold smoking exposes the meat to smoke at low temperatures, usually under 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 degrees Celsius, for several hours or even days. It doesn't cook the bacon, but instead adds a gentle, lingering smoke flavor. Hot smoking, on the other hand, uses higher heat, around 120 degrees Fahrenheit to 180 degrees Fahrenheit, 49 to 82 degrees Celsius, and both smokes and partially cooks the bacon at the same time. Most commercial bacon is hot smoked for safety and speed, though cold smoked bacon is often considered more flavorful. The type of wood used for smoke matters tremendously. Hickory is the classic American favorite, rich, strong, and slightly sweet. Applewood and cherrywood offer a milder, fruity profile. Oak, mesquite, and maple each bring their own nuances. Some producers blend woods to create signature flavor profiles, and high-end brands may use aging barrels or whiskey-soaked chips for added complexity. Modern smokehouses are fully controlled environments. Slabs are hung vertically or placed on racks and moved through large smoking chambers where temperature, humidity, and airflow are monitored by computers. Smoke is generated in a separate combustion chamber, filtered to remove bitter soot, and piped in carefully. This ensures that the bacon picks up all the aroma without any harshness. But this isn't just about flavor. Smoking also affects color and texture. Bacon gets its familiar reddish-brown tint not just from nitrites, but from the Maillard reaction, a chemical transformation between amino acids and sugars in the presence of heat. This reaction adds depth, creating hundreds of flavor compounds that give bacon its signature umami bite. When the slabs come out of the smoker, they're glossy, golden, and aromatic. You can smell the smoke and spices from across the room. The transformation is nearly complete, but before it hits your plate, the bacon must first be sliced and sealed. Slicing and packaging. Precision meets presentation. Once the pork belly has been smoked to perfection, it moves to the next critical phase, slicing. This may seem like a straightforward step, but in reality, it requires extreme precision. The quality of slicing can make or break the final product, affecting everything from visual appeal to how it cooks in a pan. Think about it. Nobody wants a jagged, uneven slice of bacon that burns at the edges and stays raw in the center. Consumers expect clean, uniform strips that crisp up evenly and look appetizing in the package. To meet those expectations, bacon factories rely on highly specialized slicing equipment. Before slicing begins, the smoked bacon slabs are thoroughly chilled. This isn't just to preserve freshness. It firms up the fat, making it easier to slice thinly and uniformly. Without chilling, the fat would smear or stick, and the slices would tear or crumble. Chilling often happens in blast chillers that bring the slab temperature down to just above freezing, typically around 28 to 34 degrees Fahrenheit, -2 to 1 degree Celsius. With the meat firmed up, the slabs are loaded into high-speed industrial slicers equipped with ultra-sharp, rotating blades. These machines are often computer-controlled and use sensors or X-ray scanners to assess the density of the meat and fat in real time. Based on that data, they automatically adjust the thickness of each slice to ensure every piece has the ideal fat-to-meat ratio. Some machines can process over 100 slices per minute, producing stacks of perfectly cut bacon at lightning speed. The thickness can be adjusted depending on the product. Standard cut bacon is usually sliced at 1/16 inch, about 1.5 millimeters, while thick cut bacon can be up to twice that. There are also ultra-thin or specialty cuts for items like bacon bits or pre-cooked crumbles. Some premium brands even offer hand-sliced bacon, cut with a knife for a rustic, artisanal feel. It's slower and more expensive, but some bacon aficionados swear it's worth it. Once sliced, the bacon is arranged in precise shingle stacks, those overlapping strips you see in retail packages. Automation arms gently place the slices into their trays or vacuum pouches, avoiding any folds, tears, or misalignment. In mass production settings, this part of the line moves as smoothly as a ballet. If a slice is misaligned, a robotic arm corrects it instantly. Speed matters, but so does presentation. Next comes the packaging process, and here's where technology really shines. Most bacon is vacuum sealed in plastic film to lock out oxygen and keep the product fresh. This not only extends shelf life, but also prevents oxidation, the chemical reaction that causes fat to go rancid. Some premium packaging uses modified atmosphere packaging, MAP, replacing oxygen with inert gases like nitrogen or carbon dioxide to slow spoilage even more. The packages are heat-sealed, labeled, date-coded, and then stacked into boxes for shipping. There are also resealable packages now, designed for consumers who don't use an entire pack in one go. These must be engineered to withstand handling while maintaining a reliable seal that preserves freshness. Labeling is a world of its own. Nutrition facts, ingredient lists, expiration dates, cooking tips, marketing claims like naturally smoked or uncured, and certifications like organic, nitrate-free, or pasture-raised. Each must comply with regional regulations and brand standards. Before the boxes leave the plant, every batch goes through metal detectors and quality assurance checks to ensure there are no foreign objects and that the packaging is sealed correctly. If a seal is imperfect or a weight is off, the pack is automatically kicked off the line and flagged for inspection. It's a combination of speed, sanitation, and science. In the end, those neatly arranged airtight packages of bacon you see in the store are the result of hundreds of micro-decisions and ultra-precise operations. And still, the journey isn't quite finished. Quality control, logistics, and global variations. No matter how sleek the machinery or how streamlined the workflow, one principle stands above all in bacon production: quality control. Food safety, consistency, and flavor are non-negotiable, especially when dealing with cured meat products. A single lapse could mean a bad batch, or worse, a health risk. Every major facility has an in-house quality assurance (QA) team. Their job starts before the pork even enters the building. Incoming raw materials are tested for pathogens like Salmonella, Listeria, and E. coli, as well as antibiotic residues or chemical contaminants. Pork bellies that fail these tests are immediately rejected. During curing and smoking, small sample slabs are routinely pulled from the line for microbial testing and sensory evaluation. Teams look for color uniformity, marbling distribution, moisture levels, and overall aroma. Any product that falls outside defined parameters is flagged. In some facilities, AI-powered cameras and sensors assist in checking for visual imperfections that the human eye might miss. Beyond taste and safety, there's traceability. Every slab of bacon is tagged with a lot number that allows producers to trace it back to the exact farm, date, and processing line. This system ensures that if a problem is discovered, the exact source can be identified and fixed within hours. Once packaged, bacon enters the cold chain, a tightly controlled refrigeration network designed to keep products safe until they reach your refrigerator. From the factory's cold storage rooms to the trucks loaded with refrigeration units to the retailer's display case, bacon is rarely exposed to temperatures above 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 degrees Celsius. If it is, it could compromise texture, color, or even safety. Some brands even equip trucks with temperature loggers and GPS trackers, ensuring that the product is always monitored in real time. This logistical precision ensures that when you grab a package off the shelf, it's as fresh as it was when it left the factory. And bacon isn't a one-style-fits-all product. Across the world, different cultures have created their own bacon traditions. In the United Kingdom, for example, back bacon is more common than belly bacon. It comes from the loin and has a leaner, ham-like texture. In Italy, bacon's cousin is pancetta, a cured and spiced pork belly often sold rolled like a spiral and used in pasta dishes. In Korea, samgyeopsal, uncured pork belly, is grilled fresh and dipped in sauces. In Germany, you'll find speck, which is smoked, aged, and intensely flavored. Each version reflects the local palate, cooking habits, and culinary heritage. The global love affair with bacon shows no signs of slowing. In the US alone, billions of pounds of bacon are consumed each year, and that number is growing. From bacon donuts to bacon-wrapped everything, it's clear this meat isn't just a food, it's a movement. From belly to legend, by the time that glistening strip of bacon hits your hot skillet, it's already been through a journey of transformation. What began as a humble pork belly on a farm became something iconic. Through months of breeding, days of curing, hours of smoking, and minutes of slicing and sealing. And yet, in the blink of an eye, that bacon is gone, sizzled away into something crunchy, savory, and unforgettable. It's easy to take bacon for granted. It's everywhere, in breakfast platters, burgers, salads, and even dessert menus. But behind that familiar taste lies a world of engineering, tradition, and craftsmanship. The salt and smoke, the temperature and time, the biology and chemistry, all of it must come together in perfect balance for bacon to be bacon. And in a way, that's what makes it so special. Bacon isn't just meat. It's one of the few foods that transcends culture and cuisine. It speaks to something primal in us, the craving for richness, warmth, and indulgence. It's both comfort food and status symbol, both classic and experimental. A food that stood the test of time and yet constantly reinvents itself. So the next time you unwrap a package of bacon, pause for a moment. Think about the pigs raised with care, the cure mixed with precision, the smoke that slowly infused flavor, and the machines that sliced every strip with mathematical perfection. There's a story in every bite, a story of history, science, culture, and above all, flavor. And if you found this journey into the world of bacon as fascinating as we did, don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and subscribe for more in-depth looks into the foods you love. Because here at FactoryX, we're not just feeding curiosity, we're slicing straight into the truth. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.